So starting the test drive in this Land Cruiser, I will say you can tell the horsepower difference just by having this naturally aspirated V8 as opposed to the new turbocharged 4-cylinder, even in the iForce Max. But the torque is incredible in those, and you still have pretty good torque here. It's a 5.7 V8. You have over 400 pound-feet, but it's just nothing like getting behind the wheel of a 5.7 liter V8 and putting your foot down. That's gonna be a different type of exhilaration, I think, as opposed to a turbocharged engine, specifically a smaller displacement one. Now, I do like that we have the 8-speed in this newer one. It just makes it a little easier to get up as opposed to the older, I don't remember if it was a 5-speed or a 6-speed, but before the 8-speed was put in these, you didn't have that many gears to choose from. But I'm gonna put into the manual shift mode, come out of this corner and see if it feels as good as the new Land Cruiser did when I took the same route. Yeah, that's pretty nice. You don't get that same feeling of exhilaration as opposed to having a turbocharger, but it still gets up. And one thing I will say is I feel like this Land Cruiser, it just feels smoother and more quiet so far as opposed to the 2024 one. But one thing I can say is I can feel the bulkiness of this one more than in the new Land Cruiser. This feels like a huge SUV. It drives like a huge SUV, as opposed to the Land Cruiser, which is not that much smaller than you would think. Compared to this, it's night and day in terms of the driving dynamics to me. But depending on what you like, I can see the pros and cons to both setups here. Now, you do get the 8-speed automatic in this one as well as the Land Cruiser, the 2024. But the difference in engine choices, depending on how you use your vehicle most of the time and how you like to off-road, I can see again, the pluses in both and the minuses in both. But this feels like something that would ride more smoothly. And I think in ways it does. The ride, I'll tell you what it is. The ride in the Land Cruiser, the 2017, feels much more plush than the ride in the 2024. But the comfort's about the same, if that makes sense. Very solid ride. Again, where this one, I feel like the shocks absorb the road a bit more. It also has more play in it as well. The newer Land Cruiser's just, it's interesting. That's the best way to put it. Part of it is because I'm so used to this body style one, the big, huge, top of the line SUV that you can get from Toyota. But I will say that the screen setup compared to the new model, this is definitely a dated system. Still good, but compared to what everyone else was doing in 2017, a little behind the times, I think. But you still get a lot of tech that wasn't seen in some of the competition. You have your standard adaptive cruise here, the lane departure system, the heated cooled seats that also have an auto mode, LED headlamps, fog lights. Now, one thing I do like about the 24 Land Cruiser is you do have the several different drive modes to choose from, whereas this one you just kind of have to either put into the power mode or have it kind of set normal. I'm gonna give myself a little space and put my foot down. All right, here we go. So pretty quick. So I'm going to put on the radar cruise, adjust the gap. Yeah, I just feel like the ride is a bit more plush on the interstate with this one, but it was smoother in the other Land Cruiser, if that makes sense. There just wasn't a lot going on. And this one, where you have a bit more of play in the actual ride, when you do hit bumps, it's more comfortable, in my opinion. But the overall sound, again, the sound acoustics in here are good. They're about neck and neck with the new Land Cruiser at highway speeds, at least. But I want to give one more thank you to John Roberts Toyota for allowing me to review this Land Cruiser today. And if you're looking to get the best price on one of these in your area, just click on that link down below and fill out the info. Takes a minute, and we'll get the local dealers fighting to get you that best price on one of these. Which they're hard to come by these days, but still, they're out there. Again, if you're interested in this one in particular, John Roberts Toyota, just Google it and the dealership will pop up. But a nice solid SUV. Even though this design was a bit dated, it was still good for what most people were using them for, and it's just what they like. And I think that's why you'll see a different set of people in the market for the new Land Cruiser as opposed to this one. But with all that being said, this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2017 Toyota Land Cruiser.